Hey guys, I'm Megan and welcome to the Wolterman Homestead and welcome to our kitchen. Today's video I'm going to show you how to make buttermilk biscuits from scratch and how to use some meat. This is meat that we were given from Schoentrup Farms. I will leave a link up above so you can find their channel. We met them last week, the week before. And they're just a really great couple here from Indiana. And they raise meat properly. They raise meat the way that we agree with. And so we're kind of excited to give their meat a try. This is the uncured, all-natural Australian style bacon. And the ingredients in this is great. So it's pork, sea salt, turbinado, if I'm saying that right, sugar and natural flavoring, meaning celery juice powder. It has no nitrates and no nitrites, so that is really great. They also have the safety handling instructions on here on how to store meat properly and then also how to cook it to the correct temperature. So that is just really great. Now, getting meat like this can kind of be scary sometimes and be a little intimidating because it's not what you're used to. You know, you're used to going to the grocery store and just having the meat section and everything is perfectly wrapped and cut a specific way. And when you get it from a butcher, it can sometimes be wrapped differently, like the white paper, or be labeled differently than what you're used to. And so sometimes that can be intimidating. And so today I'm kind of hoping that I can show you that it doesn't have to be intimidating and that cooking is only as hard as you make it. So we're just going to go simple today. I went ahead and I've got my cast iron skillet warmed up. I can actually feel the heat from it. I have my cast iron skillet set on medium. I'm going to go ahead and cut this open and stick maybe 2 slices of this bacon on there. Now this bacon is cut in one whole slice, and there's 4 or 5 slices, I think, in this package. So they're big, decent size bacon slices. And then the leftovers, I've already got some meal ideas that we're going to do. And then as this is cooking on the stove, we'll jump over and fix our buttermilk biscuits from scratch. So as I have opened this up, there is like a little piece of plastic that it is all sitting on top of, just so you know. It is visible so you can see it. So this is like really nicely sliced bacon. I'm just gonna do one at a time. While our bacon is over here cracking and popping and just smelling really good, we're going to go ahead and get started on fixing some buttermilk. This recipe that I'm using, I was given a bunch of these little cookbooks, and so this is a centennial cookbook from a church, and the date on this is 1889 to 1989. So they're just like family passed down recipes. This recipe was from Virginia Eagle, so that's just really neat. Love history, and so that's really neat. We're going to start off with a cup of buttermilk. Now, I don't have any buttermilk, so I'm going to make my own buttermilk. Buttermilk is pretty easy to make. You just add a tablespoon of either vinegar or lemon juice per 1 cup of milk. So I've just kind of got some vinegar in this little orange cup here. I'm just going to measure out 1 tablespoon, and I'm going to drop it in mix it a little bit in with my milk. So I'm just going to let that kind of sit for a few minutes. We've got a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. We're going to mix in a little bit. Now this is 2½ cups of flour. Now I'm going to cut up a stick of butter. I'm going to try and do kind of little chunks. Now this is cold butter that just came out of the fridge. You can either put it in the fridge or you could also freeze it and then grate it with a grater and throw it in the bowl that way. You want to try to touch the butter as little as possible because your hands will start melting the butter by the temperature of your body. Okay, so then we're going to take a pastry cutter and just kind of start cutting and mixing the butter into the flour. If you do not have a pastry cutter, you can easily use a couple set of sharp knives. You can see that our milk has kind of gotten a little funky looking. That means it's good to use. Now I'm going to add a little bit at a time. I'm going to add a little bit at a time to start in making our ball of dough. Flour down. Now I've kind of figured out that it's easier, I don't know, for me to not use a rolling pin. Everybody has their preferences on what they want to do and how they want to do it. I typically just fold my dough just a little bit to try and incorporate it. We're just going to try and smash the dough down to about a 1/2 inch thickness. I'm going to use a mason jar and I'm going to push straight down. Now you don't want to try and rotate it, because when you rotate it and you twist it, then you take away and you close off the edges, and that's what kind of gives it the rise and that flakiness. Now my goal is just like rustic biscuits. I'm not looking for the perfect shape. Going to set them on this parchment paper, lined cookie sheet. I ended up getting 12 biscuits. The oven is set to 450. We're going to bake those 8 to 10 minutes and throw on another piece of bacon. Now I have lowered my skillet to low-medium heat. I've already cooked 2 pieces, my 3rd piece is here, and then I have 2 more pieces over here in the little bag. Now you could definitely change this up by adding your own flavors to this. You could take brown sugar and coat the pieces in brown sugar. You could mix up some maple syrup and coat them in maple syrup, or just do a mixture of maple syrup and brown sugar, and like have a brown sugar bacon. You could just throw on some salt and pepper. I just threw it on as is, trying to make it not too difficult. Again, cooking is as difficult as you make it, as hard as you make it, but possibilities are endless. Your imagination can run wild when it comes to cooking. Our biscuits are out of the oven, so I've got some salted butter here that I'm just going to brush on the top. If you're to do this, you could use a brush. I'm just going to use my fingers real quick. If I was feeding public people, I would definitely not use my fingers. In this bowl, I've got about 2 tablespoons of butter. Just want to say thank you to Paul and Olivia over at Schoentrup Farms for letting us have a go at fixing some of their meat products and letting us try them out. I did take a little nibble of this as I was cooking it, like everyone does, and it was really good. Really enjoyed it. Now to see if we can keep Dylan from eating it all, we are going to try and save some leftovers with this to make another really great meal later this week. But here's how our meal turned out. Threw some grape jelly on our buttermilk biscuits, and then our bacon, of course, is really pretty good. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, take care and God bless.